Yo, what's up? Yeah, I'm trying to figure this out. We was rebooting the computer. It was very weird to me what had transpired. All right, hold on. Yeah, we just trying to make sure everybody get their notification and can get in here. Hit the like button coming through the door. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. No, it's a lot of nonsense that's been going on. We're trying to get through it and navigate it as best we can. A lot of people trying to get their notifications and hadn't been getting them. It's a dirty game they play, but that's why we're here. Hmm. Now, okay, right. Thank you again. My Cash App is Carcino. That's Carceno. A lot of you have done some questions. I did answer them in my last video and my new video that you haven't seen yet, but it's already done. Now, I want to say thank you for that. Now, here's the situation that's on hand right now. Okay, Skip Bayless. Thanks, Ralph. I appreciate that, bro. Now, let's get into this. Skip Bayless, about a week ago, made a fool of himself when he put out a tweet that was trying to be deceptive. He put a line at the end to try to say like he was caring about, you know, DeMar Hamlin, while everybody in the world was showing concern for a player that was on the floor, not breathing, like a dire situation. And you are looking at it as an opportunity to promote yourself and not show any concern for the player that was on the field was a bad look for Fox Sports. Out of all the things he's done, no matter how he tries to dress it up, that was the truth. That was the facts in the situation. So the president of Fox Sports, Eric Shanks, reached out to Skip Bayless that night and said, when you come to the office, I want to talk to you about what you're going to do because, this is very serious. He let him know you need to clarify now. Skip goes on social media and puts out a post saying, "I'm sorry, you misunderstood me," and did that instead of apologizing. He blames everyone else for misunderstanding his wittiness. Now that wasn't enough. Everybody saw the backup truck trying to happen because this was a very serious offense where professional athletes, people in the organization of the NFL and the Fox Sports, showcases the NFL. This is very damaging to them and could have implications of ruining said deal and contract as long as Skip Bayless is on that show. Something that Troy Aikman has fought since the moment he was there. And what they did was remove Skip Bayless. I mean, Troy Aikman. So they kept Skip, replaced Troy Aikman. Now, the reason why this is so pivotal to the situation is that many of you might not know Troy Aikman and Skip Bayless have a hate-hate relationship. And the reason it was that way was due to the fact that, well, someone just hit me up. It was due to the fact that Skip Bayless had wrote a book, and he's a Dallas Cowboy fan. We all know that, right? But in his book, he wrote that Troy Aikman was gay, and that the sources told him that this was true. Troy Aikman was so livid, he went ahead and decided, in his infinite wisdom, what he was going to do was to, one, he wanted to sue Skip Bayless. That was his first response. But that did not happen. Just like it's weird to me, no one has seen like the link to this video that's airing right now. Not only that, it's not even showing up. And I mean anywhere. That is completely weird. But That just shows you the politics that are being played at this moment in time. No, it's out there now. Hit the like button. Maybe that'll get it cranking or whatever it is that they're doing. Now, so Shannon Sharpe says he's too distraught to come to work. This is weighing heavy on him. He didn't want to come to the office. Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe have a conversation via text, and he informed Skip he's not coming in. He didn't feel that they should have done a show that what was it, Monday on Undisputed was coming up. So he felt there shouldn't be a show. Like, how are we gonna talk other sports and everything when this going on? And I don't know if I'm capable right now to talk about other sports. Skip was like, I feel you, I understand, but we got to think about it. Our viewers, we have a responsibility, and but my heart is with you on this. And he totally disagreed with Skip's post. It was like, Skip, in that moment, that can't be going through your mind. That's a human being that's out there on the field, and he's fighting for his life, Skip. That's gonna definitely be something that's gonna blow up. Skip's like, oh, my heart is with him. You didn't read my follow up tweets, and the people are just gonna twist it to be what it is. But my heart is with this guy, and it was not helping Skip that on social media, his second tweet, and then he did a third tweet or whatever. It just wasn't resonating with the people. So, in a discussion, an on air apology was needed, or clarification, as had Fox Sports, Eric Shanks was putting it. You need to, we need some form of clarification to this, Skip. Now, the way it was worded, nothing really legal can be done about it, but people could deal, this is going to affect business relationships. This is a PR nightmare for Fox. And they weren't coming at Undisputed, they were coming at Fox. So now they went over the head of Skip and all them. They went straight to the bosses and saying, we have a problem with this guy. Now, this was different than anything Skip has done before. So after they have this meeting, they decide to do the show, and Skip decides he's going to do it himself. So he can hold the fort. But all the stuff he was doing was built for this moment. It was a terrible show. You can't do a debate show with one person and a moderator, where he just basically gave you Skip's version of everything, and he spent time trying to do what in his version was an apology and show empathy. He failed again. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that, Aunt. Ann and Ralph. Uh-oh, D-Mo came through. What's up, D-Mo? So after this was done, the very next day, Shannon Sharpe returns. Shannon Sharpe gives an explanation as to why he wasn't there. And while he's doing his monologue, Skip jumps in when he says, I didn't agree with what Skip, that Skip had the tweet there. When they got there this morning, he told Skip, I understand what you said, but I wish you take it down. I heard your point. I heard your clarification. I just wish you would take the tweet down because people view it as insensitive. Just take it down. Like, why wouldn't you just take it down? Why are you being so defiant on keeping a tweet up? Like, what are you fighting? This was Shannon's point. So when he came to the actual show, they had agreed that the focus wasn't going to be on the tweet. They were just going to do the show because Shannon didn't want the focus to be about the tweet. So when Shannon got on there, he just let people know, I don't agree with Skip's position on the tweet. I just wish he would take it down. But, I just felt that the concern should have been about DeMar Hamlin's health, not about a tweet. That's why I didn't want to show up and talk about a tweet all day and taken away from DeMar Hamlin's health. That's what he was trying to get and illustrate. Skip jumps in. Wait a minute. I thought we wasn't talking about the tweet on the show. And he was like, you keep cutting me off from my monologue. I was going to say, instead of focusing on that. But I thought we weren't bringing it up at all. So now he was like, and since we brought it up, no one in this building thought that was a bad tweet. Like, no one was against the tweet. Well, Skip, somebody thought it was bad, or they wouldn't have contacted you. No, they didn't. They wouldn't have asked you to clarify what you. No one asked me to do anything. Completely was dishonest and stuck in his ways when he clearly just the day before said that they contacted him about his tweet. Clearly stated it. $100%. That's exactly what he did. Now, everyone's going to think something else, right? But let's get to this because I want it to be known. All right. So after this situation, it goes as far as the eye could see. It reaches a new height. And why you might say the new height is? Because a lot of people did not even understand what the old height was. That's right. Now you got a new situation. So after this show was over, and how Skip boldly say the bosses didn't contact him and say that over the air, and that they were, when Skip said no one here in the studio had a problem with what I said. Oh, he had a full rec. He said Kyrie offended people by saying nothing, and they cut him to pieces. Yep, you're absolutely right. And they offended with other He said, while Skip offended people with non empathetic words and nothing happens. Exactly. But except something did happen. After that show, I was done watching Undisputed. I said, I'm out. I'm not watching Undisputed anymore. Somebody send me a clip, I'll see it, but I'm not gonna record the show and I'm a day one supporter. And on live stream, y'all saw me do it live. I deleted all my shows from going back to the very first episode. And that took time. Freed up my DVR, but those were classic episodes. Gone. Now, here's the here's the next thing that happened. He was recontacted by the by Fox Sports to let Skip know we do have a problem with what you said, in case that wasn't clear the first time we spoke. And you went on air and said no one in this studio had a problem with what you said. I don't call you, Skip. So I wouldn't have contacted you if there wasn't a problem with what you said. I thought it was clear. But let me be clear to you, Skip. I do have a problem with what you said. I do have a problem that you put Fox Sports in a very particular situation. And we're fighting to do this thing the right way. Now, what we don't want, what I don't want to see is you getting Shannon to the point where we have to split this show. Right now, the show is at a point where the ratings are going up and it's spiked on the tension between you and Shannon. They want to market that more. But Shannon might be having other ideas to split and leave. Jen is gone. Fine. We got Jen. Jen can go, but Shannon is a powerful dynamic. So we want you to tone it down. That's what we want from you. We don't want you aggravating Shannon. We don't want you cutting him off, and we don't want you belittling Shannon Sharpe. That can't happen. I don't want to see it. You could debate a show without you becoming over emotional and doing what you're doing. It was the first time Skip Bayless has been chastised by Fox. He didn't like it, but he understood. He's under contract. And that $32 million he just signed last year, he's making more than NFL players. And he thought he was above reproach. They let him know that we are still your boss. And ever since then, Skip and Shannon Sharpe, from everything they've sent me, from the clips y'all have sent, I have seen it, and it has happened. They have broke Skip Bayless. They have broken him down. He is afraid to engage Shannon Sharpe in any type of conversation or bite back. He clearly waits till Shannon is done. He sulks. He comes in with a softer tone. He's definitely playing ball to what Fox wants him to do. Listen to Skip Bayless now and listen to what he sounds like. And he sounds like a guy who's been broken to pieces. He's a broken man. His shoulders are slumped in. And yeah, I see your point. Yeah. Is it my turn? Okay. And then he comes in with his point. And what's happening here is a respect dynamic. He's now showing more respect to Shannon Sharpe than he's ever shown before. This is a clear example of the power shift dynamic of the show. Skip Bayless often says, I don't like social media. I post what I want to post, and that's that. If it wasn't for the show, I wouldn't have it. I don't like social media. Like I'm not a guy that's on Twitter tweeting all the time, but he don't respond to anyone. He looks and scoffs at anyone that would respond to the people. He's above reproach. Like you don't know anything. Like I'm a professional. I have 40 years into this. So he wants you to watch him, but he thinks you're beneath him enough to respond to you. He doesn't respond to the people. And he goes at Shannon for responding to people on so like you actually respond to people? Like, oh my God, like how dare you? They're like not at our table. So this elitist, narcissistic personality believes that you should be paying attention to him, but he should never retweet you or add, respond to you. So responding to Skip makes no sense, or even watching it. Now, at this point, thank you, bro. I appreciate that, Chris. Now, what's really was transpiring at these times that were oh, I'm sorry. You said there's no sun in this room. Wherever I'm at, the sun is there. The sun gonna shine. When you a star, the light is always on you, babe. That's drip sauce. Oh, nah. Never wanted to be a celebrity. I always wanted to be rich. And when we was from, athletes and celebrities was the only way you can be rich when you're a kid. So you're thinking like, okay, well, I guess I got to be one of those to be rich. But no, riches was my goal. I've told you this story since I was a kid. I watched the commercial. They showed the Disney World. I'm like, when you wish upon a star, I'm like, I want to go to Disney World. I'm tired of going to Six Flags. I'm like, Mom, let's go to Disney World. My mom like, no, you got to be rich to go to Disney World. I'm like, oh man. So that eliminates all your asking to do stuff. That was a parent trick back then. Just tell you got to be rich to do it. And that eliminated the possibility. So you believe in your head, I can't never go there unless I'm rich. And as a child, that's what I thought. So my goal was, okay, I got to be rich so I can go to Disney World. You probably was asleep that day, Millennium Man. But that was my mentality as a child. Is I gotta become rich so that I can go to Disney World. That's what they told me, just to get me to stop talking about it or even ask it. They just told me flat out, you gotta be rich. I'm going, man, dang, I want to go there. I gotta be rich. So when they asked us what we wanted to be, like what profession, I was like, I put rich. Everybody else said fireman, want to be a police officer, wanted to be a doctor, and all this other stuff. I put rich. And I was in what, third grade, I think, second or third grade. And I put rich. Blew the teacher's mind. But I was always different, ahead, in other words, of the class. How do I know what was going on in the meeting? I'm very glad you asked that. That's because someone that works for Fox Undisputed actually was talking about this and have been in contact with me since the show first started, buddy. Oh, yeah. How do you think I knew so much about what was going on with Undisputed and what was going on with Stephen A. Smith and the whole thing from ESPN? And I knew everything because there's people out there who actually watch and listens to me and said everything you said has been correct. Here you go. We have email correspondence. I get back and forth with them. These people used to work for ESPN. Some of them did not go to Fox when they left the First Take show. Most of them went to other networks, like some went to work for NBC. And they knew a lot that went on too. Still do, because they got friends there. And they'll give me, they say, Cino, this is what happened. This is why Jamie's gone. This is why such and such is this. This happened at ESPN also. This is what, and I'm very grateful because they can't say it because it risks their jobs. But you're welcome. In other words, for you guys, it's a treat for you guys. Oh, it's not word for word verbatim, but yeah, pretty much that is it in a nutshell. That is exactly what happened. They had a very serious problem when Skip Bayless went on national TV and said no one in the studio had a problem with what I tweeted. Fox Studio was livid. And when that show was over, he had another phone call and they made it very clear to Skip they did have a problem with what he said. And they thought he knew that by them actually contacting him the first time. Oh, thanks, Mike. Appreciate that. Much love and support. So, the fact that they went ahead and did that opened up Pandora's box. It did. It opened up Pandora's box because now you see Skip. He's a broken man. He don't really get raving loud like he used to. He didn't cut Shannon off anymore. We'll know when if Brady don't win. No, let me knock on something. Wood. On Monday, that Tuesday episode is going to be very telling. We're going to see how Skip reacts when Shannon comes in and start doing what he's doing. But Skip will be happy because it's a win-win for Skip. If Brady wins, great. Cowboys suck. And hey, we got some improvement to do, but hey, it's Brady. If the Cowboys win over Brady, oh, it's Super Bowl talk. And we're back. And the boys are back in town. We got a road win, the first road win since 1992. And all this craziness is coming back. But we're going to see how his energy is. How long is Skip going to play ball? Because they don't want to see him cutting off Shannon, doing anything to irritate Shannon anymore. Because Fox want to keep Shannon Sharpe very happy. The One Nation album was not complete. It was still in the process of being complete. A lot of people keep saying, "Oh, the album was done." It wasn't done. It wasn't completed. It was in the process of being completed. There are so many different avenues that Fox Sports can go into because their contracts are not exclusively to Undisputed, the show. This is how other people can move to other shows. You've seen Joy Taylor go from Undisputed to The Herd, and now she got Speak for Yourself because her contract is with Fox. It's not with the shows. Now it'll say, okay, you're going to be on this show this week, but if they need her to go and fill in for somebody on another show, you belong to Fox Sports. So in your contract, they're gonna be like, look, we need you to fill in. This and that. You're getting another check. Boom, bang, bang. There you go. Okay. Oh no. See, I was wearing these glasses because they were a gift from the Chicago Bears organization. Where see the Chicago Bears. Now these was a gift from the Chicago Bears, so I decided to wear them. This is what the coaching staffs get when they're out there on the field, and you see them out there on the field. They with the clipboard and they got the sunglasses on. But since it's bothering everyone, what's up, Southside Tone? He said the thing is nobody putting hands on Skip, so he's gonna keep talking reckless. Matt Barnes saying he stopped people from doing it, shaking his head. Let him do it and stop stopping it from happening. All right, Southside Tone. Here's the thing, Southside Tone. Matt Barnes is talking again like a tough guy to try to bring popularity and ride off a situation that was hot, and he wants to jump in to get some attention on him and was like, I personally diffused two situations. Do you think an NFL player or running back or whatever who had a problem with Skip or a coach that had a problem with Skip was going to put their hands on Skip? No. So how did you diffuse something? Once again, he's talking like this is a street situation. Any one of those guys touch them, their careers is over. You touch Skip Bayless, who's about a 70 some year old man, in any part of bumping him, hitting him upside his head, or anything, not only is your career done, he's gonna sue you, get all your money, then you're gonna get fired from your job and profession, and no one's gonna hire you, even though they're gonna be like, we commend what he did. It's like you commend someone beating on a 70-year-old man, a professional athlete. Skip probably in better shape than they is. Skip works out every day. Road work, running 6, 7, 8 miles a day. Skip is in shape. So when I tell you that he might embarrass some of them people that might try to put hands on Skip, I'm just saying. Most of the people that try to fight, they ain't in shape. They good for like 10, 20 seconds. And they huffing and puffing. I'm like, am I wearing my Movado? Well, I guess I am. Thank you. I didn't realize I was. Well, we have a situation in hand with the way that they're gonna for the moving forward, how they plan on dealing with Skip Bayless. And hit the like button, good people. I know you guys just got here. If you new, subscribe, select all, so hopefully you get your notification. But the way they're gonna do this thing moving forward, I just hoping now, wishing and praying that they somehow can get this together. Well, when you look at the total picture and you start looking at the main elements of what's happening, then maybe you'll see where I'm going when I'm saying about the future. Shannon Sharpe can have his own show. There's been talks of doing the Uncle Shannon, like Club Shay Shay, bringing that show to the main forefront. Because as I told you before, Skip Bayless is not someone. There, that's why I took the glasses off. Everybody's like, "Oh, somebody done punched you in the face." I was showcasing the glasses they just gave. That's it. No one punched me in the eye. No theories. So that's why I removed the glasses. See how people get y'all get caught up in controversy and conspiracy theories. Now somebody that punched me in the eye, like like Captain Jack waiting outside. Oh no, I got him, baby. I heard what he said about you. About your tacos. Come on. Oh yeah. Let's go, baby. Get back in the car. We got 1,000 more miles to drive. Go. No. Absolutely not. Yeah, Damar Hamlin has been released from Buffalo Hospital. They say he's safe to rehab at home now. So that is a blessing and a half right now. So that's good. But no, I didn't get hit. So the whole issue is Fox Sports, if you remember the show, they used to have guests that come on Undisputed. When is the last time you seen a guest on Undisputed? Because I already told you, but 2 years ago, it was like 2 years ago that they were having problems getting guests on Undisputed anymore. Skip is like, I don't need a gas. All I need is my co-partner over there. That's it. I don't care about a gas. The networks do. They look at the polls and said, well, ESPN knows that's what you should do is have guests. When Jamie was there, the focus was let's get the guests. Eric Shanks just said, all right, well, let's use your philosophy and see what happens. And they are losing because these other networks have the gas. And the guests boost the show. Pat Bev goes on all the ESPN shows. Ratings up here. Because a guest might say something cordially stupid or something that is trend worthy on your show, and you omit that by not having one. But back then they had a problem because no one wanted to come on the show and talk to Skip Bayless. They don't like the guy. They want to talk to him, but they don't be able to promote him as well. Like, we don't want to come on your show and do it. I'll talk to you on social media. I don't want to give you any publicity, but I do want to sit in front of you so you can say those words in front of me. See, T.O. came on the show because of his respect for Shannon Sharpe. Everybody who came on that show mostly don't like Skip. And Debo Samuel was going to come on to the show, but somebody contacted him who was a football player, a said teammate, and talked him out of it. This was 2 years ago. And it was supposed to have been about possibly joining the Dallas Cowboys like Dion did. And Debo wanted to clarify this on the show. They wanted him to come on the show and do it. And he had no ill wills or anything like this towards any of it. And someone talked him out of it. That was done. None of the Dallas Cowboys actually had anything to do with coming on the show with Skip based on his Ezekiel Elliott situation. And he started to become harsh with Dak Prescott. By him going on social media and taking the jersey and kept throwing the jersey in the trash can. Ezekiel Elliott's mother, who thought Skip was a true fan of Zeke, who's just basically, I'm a fan as long as you're playing well. And if Zeke had a bad game, Zeke jersey was thrown away. And if he plays good, he goes and take it back out the trash. And his mother said, please don't show my son's jersey anymore. I know what you are now. And that alone put things in a perspective that he could never get himself out of. Now, here's something you didn't know. Well, most of you know. If you know more about Skip and his life, I don't think I've ever touched on it before, but I'm going to let you know. Skip Bayless rarely talks to his family. He has a brother. They don't get along. Skip and his parents didn't really get along. He was raised by his nanny who was black. He was more in tune with her than his own parents. So Skip grew up hanging around black people, her children, and basically didn't really connect with his own family. In case you guys didn't know that about Skip, growing up in Oklahoma. So Skip always had an understanding and always fought for the black athlete more and had more of an understanding about situations when he was coming up as a teen, adulthood, everything. He always was give the benefit of the doubt to the athletes that were black and would say, hey, like, I don't like that statement. So he always was compassionate. That's why I said Skip's not a racist. When, believe me, I would go on the record and tell you that he is a narcissist. And that is a complete different thing. He is believes he is the end all be all. What he says is the truth, but racist, no, he's not. I can't put that on him. Knowing his past and knowing what he's done, knowing the things that he could have done, even here in Chicago, when he came here for like a year during Jordan's final season, when he worked at the Tribune, okay, they wanted him basically. There was a black journalist who was up and coming, and Skip basically could have taken that guy's job. And he basically was like, there's no Michael Jordan, there's no news here. So if Jordan's retiring, then I can cover that to the retirement, but I'm not going to take food off this guy's table and cut him out. And he's worked all his way to get to this position. This is where he wants to go. That guy can have that. I got another opportunity over here, and I kind of want to do that than to stay here in a town with no Jordan. So, so it made more sense for him to do that, but he could have easily cut the legs off all the counterparts. Now, the networks wanted him to do a debate show with some of their other colleagues who weren't African American. Skip didn't agree with this. He fought for Stephen A. Smith because he said this is the best dynamic for the show. Not because he's black, but because he's passionate. And where he's from, blacks just happen to be more passionate about sports than anybody. So that's going to work for the show. And you guys are omitting that. I don't need another journalist who's going to toe the line and not really care. I need somebody with passion that loves it. I need that because I have passion. I'm passionate about my Cowboys. I'm passionate about the teams I root for. I need that passion. Put your glasses back on wasn't racist. It was someone talking to someone they know, like who's over, like, man, put your glasses back on. Like, if you said that to your homeboy, like, man, it's like, what are you doing? Put your glasses back on. He's talking to somebody you know. It wasn't, but if you don't know the dynamics of their relationship or friendship, you wouldn't know. That's why he's telling him that, like that. Like, man, put your glasses back on. Like, what you getting all excited for? That's basically what he was saying. But to the rest of the world, they don't know Skip. They look at it like you're his boss. And you can't talk to a black man like that. They don't know that they're friends. Like before that, Skip Bayless saved Shannon Sharpe's whole career and everything. None of you probably even knew who Shannon Sharpe was. You've heard of him as a football player, but you didn't know where Shannon was in his career. Shannon ain't played in about 30 years, seemed like. When he was wrongly terminated at CBS with Terry Bradshaw and all those guys, and when he was like terminated over there for a false claim, they decided not to well, he wasn't terminated. They decided not to renew his contract. So when they decided not to renew his contract, do you know what happened after that? He was in limbo and he was going around doing guest spots for like $3,000 to $5,000. Shannon Sharpe was paid like I believe like $3,000 or something to appear as a guest for Undisputed. It was like, oh, not Undisputed, sorry, First Take. And he was on the show with Stephen A. Smith and they had I think he filled in for Stephen A one time, and they had him on the show. Now, Mr. Controversial, Rob Parker, Skip Bayless saved his job a number of times. Because Rob Parker, if you know anything about Rob Parker, he is one of the, y'all think Rob is like this now? Rob was like this before you could do this. It got him off the air. It got him off TV. He said something ESPN didn't like. They snatched him off First Take, and they told Skip, you can't bring him back on First Take. But he hangs out with Rob. He went to Detroit to the barbershop because Undisputed show is basically based off of that barbershop show. Rob Parker had that first. He was in Detroit doing his own radio show from his barbershop that he goes to in Detroit. So that barbershop show was hot. That's why the very first episode before they ever did anything, they previewed the show and gave you an example of what it was going to look like. It was like more of a barbershop conversation type show. That's how it was designed. With like sometimes they got 4 guys out there and they all going for it, giving their opinion. So they did it from Rob Parker's barbershop. Skip don't have to do that, but he hangs out and feel more comfortable hanging out with the people that's passionate and love the sport. So he grew up with a non-racist approach to blacks, period. He feels like he's black half of the time because he was raised by him. His brother and him still don't talk to this day like that. They're not close. He's more closer to Shannon Sharpe than he is his brother. That's the truth. Now, that relationship has been strained. Without a fraction of a doubt, it has been strained because of Skip's behavior. In recent shows, like he has been more disrespectful and more just condescending because not because Shannon Sharpe is black, is because Shannon is getting a lot of publicity on the show. Sometimes things ain't about black and white. It's about ego. Shannon is now a star. He went from a guy who nobody really knew about as as doing this and being successful. And I kept telling people, this is gonna be successful. Y'all don't know Shannon. Shannon got a mouthpiece on him, and Shannon can hold his own. And I told the world they're going to beat First Take. They won't be able to replace Skip, no matter what they do. And true to form, First Take turned to trash. And I told everybody why. And once I was making those videos, there was a dynamic shift because you only read about Skip Bayless leaves ESPN to go over to Fox. Did you not notice everybody left ESPN and went over to Fox? Chris Bouchard was at ESPN. Now he's over there. Chris Collinsworth was at ESPN. Now he's at Fox. Everybody who's on Fox have come from ESPN. It was a titanic shift. They all ended up at Fox. From the executive producers, the staff, people that worked on this show. It was a big conflict of interest. Everybody contract was up for renewal. ESPN thought they were the big baddest thing and the boldest thing in the world. And they said, all right, we're leaving. And then Fox Sports had the UFC. That was a big money maker for them at night. And then the UFC's like, we want this much money. And they said, nope, we're not paying it. And ESPN's like, we got them. We're going to buy the UFC. And boy, oh boy, they have been losing money on ESPN Plus since. They had cut the bars. See, here's the delusion of grandeur about the UFC, that it makes so much money. It really don't. And I'm gonna tell you people why. You don't sell a company that's making you a lot of money. Okay. They sold the company because it was built up and propped up on big names who they discovered and build up over time because they could actually really fight. Now, anybody could be the champion in UFC. And that's not a good dynamic for your business where anybody could just be the champion. So Joe Schmo off the couch, walk up there. Oh, he lands a shot and now Bubba's the new UFC heavyweight champion. Uh, what happened, Bubba? Well, I said let me hit him as hard as I could. And I did. And I ain't know it's gonna go down off the first hit, but I'm a champ. Uh, Bubba! So Bubba's now the champion. So now you got a new dynamic on your hands. And what they tried to do was they wanted to make a new dynamic for everybody at the UFC. The UFC is normally the bars would pay money to buy the UFC pay-per-views because they know that's going to be a big money maker for them if they show the fight for free. Because they just want you to buy beer and buy all the food and all the nachos. And so they was like, we're going to make that money back times 10. Now, normally bars and restaurants are charged anywhere from $8,000 to, like, before they used to just buy the pay-per-view and play like a regular price and they were like robbing them. It's like, oh no, you got all these people coming in. That's all the money that we're losing. So we got to charge you more. So the bars were getting over on it, and a lot of bars stopped showing pay-per-view events because of that. So now they overcharge bars and say, "Oh, you want the fight? Okay, that's going to be 8,000 to host it." So now, this time around, the UFC had went crazy and started upping it, and then they started blocking and said you got to get ESPN Plus in order to show the events. And they're like, "We're not going to pay for ESPN Plus." Then they said, "Well, you got to pay this much for it." So they was like, "Well, we're not showing the UFC anymore here." So the UFC wasn't being showcased on ESPN anymore because they were trying to get people to subscribe to ESPN Plus and using the UFC to do it. And it wasn't working. All the bars, they started to see the people was like, dang, they don't have it at the bar. Then I guess I can get it at the house, but it's something called ESPN Plus. People didn't even know how to access ESPN Plus. They didn't know how to market and sell it. Showing a commercial doing ESPN, people was like, all right, it's coming on ESPN. People watch sports drink and they're normally drunk. So when they watching the commercial and they thinking it's going to be on regular ESPN. So when the fight come on, they turn it on ESPN. Like they're saying the fight's on, I don't see it. It's on ESPN Plus. What channel is that, baby? It's an app, stupid. Well, we gotta pay for that? Oh, I thought it was free. What are we paying cable for? That's your average consumer. So that's happening in a lot of households. This is why they start doing the bundle. We're going to team up with Disney because we're owned by Disney and use Disney to help us sell this crap that we got called ESPN Plus. So they took ESPN Plus, mixed that with Hulu, and we're going to all work together to try to sell my crap. But now we got to make this accessible to bars. No, 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 no. The bars can buy it. No, no, we're cool. No, no, you can show the fights in your bar. We're sorry. So that's the case that you have now. Like I could have easily went to the bar and watched a lot of different fights that transpired. I could have easily do that. I don't have to pay a pay-per-view for no fight. I can go right to a bar that I know that has all of it. They pay. They'll buy 2 and 3 at a time out here because, where I live, people got money. but it's free for the people that got money. Ain't that something? That's nuts, ain't it? I can walk in and buy a cheeseburger and sit down and watch every pay-per-view fight there is because they cater to the middle class Americans and the poor. You guys got to pay out the money. You guys want to entertain and all that. You guys are the backbone. They don't really care about the people that actually have the money. Thank you. I hope all you guys have subscribed to the page right now. Oh, yes. This is way before the Maria Taylor incident. ESPN stands for every sports person's nightmare. And the reason why it's every sports person's nightmare is because they do not understand people. They felt we're the number one leader in sports. Oh, really? Says who? No one watches Sports Center anymore. Who watches Sports Center? Sports Center has not been the focal point or any staple anymore because of the internet. The internet has killed Sports Center. You do not even matter anymore. You're barely holding on. You closed down and got about 30,000 people unemployed. Y'all shut down y'all offices in California and sent everybody to New York. You got to come to Connecticut. You got to come. That's it's no. You got to come to Connecticut. That's it. That destroyed Jalen Rose's marriage with Molly. By the way, that's when all the problems started. When they got to Connecticut and that would commute was hellified. They started closing their offices and bringing everybody back to the main office. They because it was no competition at first for ESPN. Fox don't have the outlets ESPN has. ESPN has way more outlets than Fox Sports, but Fox Sports get about half or more viewerships from what they got. They should be doing 3 times the numbers that Fox Sports is doing. Fox Sports, by them doing 100,000 plus a show, like doing almost 200,000, 300,000. If they can get to 300 and 400,000 a episode, oh, they're killing it. They are crushing it to the moon. And the reason that they're crushing it, they're going to crush it to the moon is because ESPN don't really understand what was going on. See, Jamie used to work there and he felt he was targeted to be fired. And he went to NBC. And when Fox opportunity opened up, his whole thing was to destroy ESPN. He brought everybody that was over there. He brought Rob Parker back. Like, Rob, you're back. You're in the game. Skip, like, Rob, get your suit. You're coming to Fox. Rob Parker was at Fox. Everybody's coming to Fox. This is the showdown. Now we're going to show ESPN what's what. Then you start seeing all the analysts leave ESPN and just quit. But they're the number one leader of sports. Gosh, the delusion of grandeur. They keep having massive layoffs, and they're going to continue to have massive layoffs because they have the wrong people running the organization. You have the president of ESPN Sports is tied to the mafia. Oh yeah, yeah. Changing your name don't really help, buddy boy. I know who you're related to. And it's on the Patreon too, by the way. The Casino for Life Patreon. Um, what you probably didn't know that's up there right now is the DMX when he robbed somebody when he was the number one artist in the world. He decided to do a robbery. I told that story is on the Patreon. I might not release that on the YouTube, but that's on the Patreon right now. Dwayne Wade and Gabriel Union with the things that Jaguar's talking about. It's already been on the Patreon. So the Patreon, we can go to a whole nother level that we can't do here, if that makes any sense to you. Do we have Beyonce nude? Absolutely, we do. Jay Z don't like it, but yeah, it's on the Patreon. Hit the hit the like button, good people. Yes, we have the killing of Michael Jackson, part 1 and 2, up right now for the VIP. If you're a Patreon VIP members, that's where it really is. And we have the truth behind the death of Prodigy, the rapper. No one ever talks about that. And we have evidence, we have photos, we have everything to back up that this is unusual to be just a choking. He choked off eggs. It's like, huh? He suffocated from choking on eggs. It's like, what? Okay. So we went and did that. And that was done like 2 years ago, but it's there. The Nipsey Hustle, all the details you needed to know. Not only is it there, I give you the whole PDF file. You can download it yourself for free. You got the whole PDF, but you can't do it on your phone. This is a file, so it's too massive. You got to get to a desktop, and you will have all that information, and you will see all the events that was leading up to it, and the police records. Okay, so you can see how massive this was. It's all on there. Um, Somebody asked me something about young Dolph, and then I think I answered that in the last video I did. Y'all haven't seen that video yet, and that's a video I wish everybody could see. I wish they send the notifications out for that when it goes live, but I'm waiting to see that happen. Shannon Sharpe might get his own show because all the guests like talking to Shannon. So when he does his club Shay Shays, what you see, he's always got a guest on there. And these are all the guests Fox is like, wow, Shannon is really beloved. Like people actually come to check out Club Shay Shay. Oh, Shannon got a lot of things in the works. LeBron James tried to get him signed with Clutch Sports. This is before you saw him on the court. He tried to get Shannon signed to Clutch Sports 2 years ago and was like, "Come work for there, and I can get you on ESPN. You'll never be fired. You never got to worry about being fired at ESPN." He told him. Shannon Sharpe didn't sign with Clutch Sports. He thought that would be like he couldn't be, you know, fair. And LeBron's like, "Oh, you can say I don't care what you say about me." That well, we all know that's gonna be a lie. No, that's not the case. Shannon Sharp is going to actually bring forth. It's going to be like Uncle Shannon's. They're going to make his home show. They're not going to. They're not going to. They're not going to put him on another show, or Shannon would have his own platform for another show that is he's the host of. He's going to have people and guests come on his show. He'll have a partner. It's going to be more like a podcast type of a show. And they talking about it being like Uncle Shannon's or Uncle Shay, and that's what he really wants to do. LeBron wants to help facilitate this by putting him with Clutch Sports. Well, when you start looking at you could look at the optics. The optics don't look too good. Oh, definitely. I hope you guys subscribe if it's your first time here. You learned some valuable information all on this video. If I spent 1 hour giving you information, believe me, it is definitely warranted. Absolutely. I knew Joy Taylor was leaving Undisputed before she even announced it, before it was even spoken about to anyone in the world. I was thanking her all before, it was her final episode to leave the show. And she came back in a guest hosting capacity. But I used to ask to let her speak more. Oh, okay. I see you, Samuel. You came in for the initial. Yeah, there's 3 tiers. There's the entry level, then there's the all access, then there's VIP. That's just the ultimate, ultimate. And you understand why it's VIP. People be, man, why is VIP that? Because I'm like, you'll see. Dog, I have FIFA on my back. FIFA. So let that sink in. No. Scottie Pippen is mad because Michael Jordan didn't give him a job. That's it. Period. Shannon's in shape. So is Skip. They both work out. This is what they do. Mm-mm. LeBron could not play football. No, he wouldn't survive. He had been injured and he had been crying. No one's going to care about LeBron, and he wouldn't be playing no 20 years in football. Two months ago, Shannon Sharpe turned against LeBron James. I will never forget that moment.
You're not winning very many ball games. You do anything wrong with this man anymore. You better sit here. Yeah, Ronnie Walker last night was our third best player. If Ronnie Walker is your third best player, you're not winning very many ball games. How about that? How many teams have a third best player that's worse than Ronnie Walker? It is bad. It is bad. It is Ronnie Walker.
Lonnie Walker was the third best player on the team. He is the best player on the team to me.
And that's exactly what they got. 8 turnovers. Brown was not aggressive. That game was very winnable last night. That was a very winnable game last night. Yes, it was, yeah. I told you Young was going to come out with a baby. He was not going to let it happen, and you saw what I can understand. I want Anthony Davis take this man apart in 2020. Street clothes, Davis. There's no other way around it. There's no way to be sugarcoated. He was terrible.
LeBron was terrible last night.
No way to be sugarcoated. LeBron was awful last night. There's no other way around it. There's no way to be sugarcoated. LeBron was awful last night. There's no other way around it. There's no way to be. This is what Savannah's saying to her friends right now. LeBron was awful last night. There's no other way around it. There's no way to be sugarcoated. He was terrible.
He was terrible. Oh, man. And what did Shannon Sharpe and LeBron James do? Hug on the court. Once Shannon Sharpe became Uncle Shannon, he came out there with the do-rag on, the cigarello, the Hennessy, and all of this stuff. Then he started wearing the goat mask and all this stuff. Started putting up Club Shay Shay. He brought the show to a whole new dynamic. He started winning over the young folks who's at home drinking yak, smoking a blunt. Yeah! Shannon got that! He got a cigarello! And he got a Black and Mild! And he got the Hennessy! That was it. Every hood dude in the world was talking about Shannon Sharpe. That Uncle Shannon, baby, he got on a do-rag on the show and he got a Black and Mild. It was over. He was instantly an overnight success on internet, and everybody was following Shannon Sharpe now. That's all it took. Once he put that black and mild on in his mouth on national television, then he was able to basically advertise on the show. Go Giants! Putting on that mask, brought a can of Crisco and put it on the table. Now we cooking with Crisco, Skip. Now we cooking with Crisco. That's an old down south saying that we used to say all the time. Now we cooking with Crisco. Skip. Me, I used to, when I cook, I try to cook with butter more than using grease. And I only use vegetable oil if I'm going to cook. Seriously. And people that come and cook in the kitchen, in my kitchen, got to understand. I use aluminum foil on all the stuff. I don't like to use a lot of the stuff actually touching the pan because of the chemicals that they use for the non-stick on the pans. Oh, Corey Holcomb is great. Like listening to Corey Holcomb is nothing but full-fledged entertainment. You will never go wrong listening to Corey Holcomb. Corey Holcomb, no matter if you agree with it or not, it is the most entertainment you gonna probably get without falling on the floor. Him and Kwame Brown both will give you entertainment. It don't matter the topic. They could be talking about a pair of socks, and they'll make you listen for 2 hours, cracking the hell up about a pair of socks. They be like, "This started about a pair of socks." This thing is hilarious. That's right. Shouts out at Kwame Brown Bus Lot. You see, once Kwame Brown came out and showed his disdain for how athletes were being treated and everything, once he sent that disdain for how athletes was being treated, oh, that changed a lot. All of a sudden, guys wasn't as harsh as they was on professional athletes no more. They ain't apologized to Kwame Brown, but it damn sure changed the dynamics. They can't lie and tell you it didn't, because it damn sure did. I watched it change. No, I believe that in the end of the when it's all said and done, it's gonna come down to who's bringing what to the table. And the overall picture is all that you see laid out before you, right? Fox, ESPN, all of these other networks, it's all about what they're bringing to the table. Who's bringing what? It's like, okay, this guy's here, but what is he bringing to the table? So, like I said, it's all about what you can bring in to the table. What is your worth? But everything is marketing now. We're marketing so much, we're forgetting about the actual game. Something David Stern never did before. What Skip Bayless will do if Shannon Sharpe leaves? Skip Bayless is going to be fine. He got $32 million. Skip would do that show in his house. He'll do it in his underwear. All he has is that show. He don't have any other arrangements. His show, only he's not going to co-host somebody else's show. Skip Bayless is going to do Undisputed, and that's it. It's in his contract. That is what he does. It's his own show. Now, if Fox decides to kill his show and he can't get a deal anywhere else, he'll go strictly to the internet. Got some good old salsa verde. Well, let me put it this way. Y'all say Jordan was old and grumpy, but at the end of the day, he got the job done. So when you old and grumpy, this is the dynamic that normally follows. We've seen it countless times. People often say that, but it's not normally true. Skip Bayless is going to. I told you she looks just like Skip Bayless. He's such a narcissist. He married himself. When I first saw Ernestine, I thought it was Skip Bayless' sister. Thanks, Jaden. They were not even showing my video. Oh, she might be a sweetheart. Oh, I did tell you, Darren. Shannon Sharpe was one of the main choices they were going to go with, Rob Parker or Shannon. It was going to be the either or, the yin or the yang. The thing was this. That mask that he came out that looked like Skip. Skip, they already knew pre-show what was going to happen. It was no surprise to Skip. He probably didn't like it, but they went along with the show. A lot of stuff he did on the show, Skip ain't gonna like. But we all know that if Skip came out with a Shannon Sharpe mask on, how that would have went. You know, it would have went in a totally different direction, right? Oh, definitely. Hit the like button, people. What's going on here? I'm giving y'all all this time. Shouts out to everybody that hit up my super chat today. Shouts out to everybody that hit up my Cash App, which is Carcino, by the way. Carceno. And you can leave some questions there. They gotta be short because Cash App don't give you no space to leave a whole sentence. And a lot of y'all sentences are getting cut off. So I'll answer them live. Yes, I'll put my Cash App in there. You know what it looks like. That's what it looks like. When you see it pop up, it'll say Carcino for life in there. You see me with a green shirt on, and I'm like sitting on the couch doing one of those. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's us. Yeah, that's us. Yeah, I'm kind of upset they made it a Monday night. Right, that's Lil Wayne, buddy. Hey, Skip Bayless. Let's talk some sports, baby. I know my sports, baby. Hold up, wait, it's time to flip on the money now. Skip Bayless, he's the dog, somebody job enough. Skip Bayless don't stop me another way. I don't lie to get to see where I'm coming from. Possible, what? No mercy, no mercy. And I'm up right now. And I face to face, I don't make mistakes. I just take my gate. I'm out in the morning. I'm on my phone. We can get it by it. Everybody. Did you get it? Anybody? Like, and now, the song's a hit. And then somebody said that's the worst little song, Wayne song I ever heard in my life. I'm like, man, I thought it was all right. I hate that song. I'm like, damn. people was mad as hell a Little Wayne for making that. I'm like, I like the song. I like guys couldn't really understand him too much, but yeah, he came out there. Hey man, it was just like what I said when I went there. So when I saw Skip Bayless said he was making a song and he wanted to take care of it. He wanted me to do the songs. I said, I just saw Skip Bayless, my guy. Yeah, money, man. It could be 5 in the afternoon. Little Wayne will sound like he just woke up all day. I was doing so when they said, I saw it all broke down. I could understand what they were saying. So I'm like, whoa! I've heard Lil Wayne, when that happened, he was here in Chicago. So at the hospital, then everybody was telling me he gone. I'm like, he gone? What the hell you mean he gone? And TMZ had pronounced him gone. How are they still in business? Let them do that to somebody white. TMZ would have been like, well, TMZ is now sold. Are you kidding me? Right, that's the lane talking. Lane on me, then make mine Easter peach. Give me my purple drink. That's what I think. I'm chilling here with BG. We gone back to the way when I was the people, the women, the woman, taking it back. And when now when they go almost stopping me. Man, he changed his whole shirt. After you got me look and die, drop it like I'm a rider boy, 17 with them five boy, got them G's, that five boy, got them G's, them chopper boy. I got things that go block it, boy. Little Wayne, I'm a basketball. With anybody, I can kick it like soccer boy. Got a wife, better hide a boy. Catch you at my house, stepping out the shower boy. I'm like, that guy is gone. No, that was his style. But that was never his style. That was like BG and them style. He's like, yeah, I hate it that way. He's like, Glorilla is the female BG. No, she ain't. She is a stripping thought that they done gave a microphone to. He said, there you go, nasty thought. No, Vince wants to make this deal. So that's why he's taking control and interest. The McMahons are going to be out of wrestling, period. Um, they were putting themselves in a position for a hostile takeover. So he wants to get in there and make sure this deal gets done by the Dubai people. And they're going to have some very large controlling interests. And they're going to be cashing out with a couple billion. Wrestling's huge in Dubai. Dubai's where the money at. All the boxing fights are going there, everything. They got money. And when I say they got money. I'm telling you like this, Jack. When the guy says he got his own money, I'm saying he got his own money. He make your boy Daryl look like a welfare case. You didn't hit the jackpot now, baby. Yep. So I'm gonna get out of here so y'all can actually. We talked about a lot today, but I'm gonna go and let y'all marinate on this, and then I'll hit y'all later with the other video I really want y'all to see. I hope they send y'all the notification. I'm out.